Noon the show by Lauderdale, Jones, Scott, and Smith, Winston, Leak, you better act right. Don't drive slow and be wild at night, 'cause you need to know that if you do, that Scotty Ray is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere. That man is faster than a scalded cat. If you do something dumb, then you better run with haste. Scotty Ray's at a wreck before it ever takes place.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to hit a button. Good morning.
It's us.
I'm your friend, Scotty Ray. This is Odie as we begin March the 10th, a new time.
Yes, a new time. Got to get used to it. It's dark when you get up and start getting ready to go to work, but there's going to be extra hours at the end of the day so all you fellas can get your honeydews done.
Well, mainly mowing grass in daylight.
You don't do
You
that.
gotta. No, my wife will not allow me to do such thing. And let me do a forewarning of this. We've got Julia in the office with us this morning. Good morning.
I'm here on a Monday.
I know
She's in the middle of the screen.
Where's your husband?
I know. I just texted him, actually. That's probably him texting me back. And I said, you're late. He says, no invite.
He knows he doesn't have to have an invite.
Yeah.
I got in trouble this weekend. Y'all not going to believe this.
Oh,
We were driving down the road, and is there any man, and I do this as a public service announcement for mankind. Are you with me so far?
I'm listening.
What does anybody know about menopause? Does anybody know anything?
That's a button on a tape deck.
No, it means
nothing.
a man's life is ruined for a certain amount of time.
Oh, my gosh. You're
And
going
there's
to
no
die
way out of
today.
it.
And this is the way
you
that
got
Scotty
that
Ray
right.
died.
Yeah, well, this is what all led to this. We're going down the road, and she said something. I said, "You sure are nicer these days."
Oh.
And that was apparently the wrong thing to say, because I pointed out that some few years ago, it was like living with Jack the Ripper. I mean, you could go.
I just want to advise you that I would stop. I just feel like you should stop. I don't know where the story is going, but
I'm just trying to help other
We
men.
know where it can end up if he keeps down this road, don't we?
I'm giving you solid advice.
If your wife is going through this menopause thing, it's best to just be quiet for like 3 years and not say anything, because you will be jumped on for anything, for any reason, at any time. And I merely pointed out that she was a much nicer person now, which
How'd that
brought
go?
back memories of. It was rough, y'all.
And Scotty Ray will be back tomorrow with a black eye, advising you that you don't bring it up 3 years later either.
Y'all just don't know.
He'll already be on the first scene of the first 47 today.
You know how they put warning labels on medicine bottles? There needs to be a warning label placed somewhere, because it's like your life. And they become, what do you call those, hot flashes? And hot flashes means bad attitudes.
Okay.
Just warning.
Right.
And there's some women that will admit that they've got problems. There should be a doctor that has isn't it different for every, and you'll tell me this, because you've been to I don't know much about lady doctors, but
Where is this show going?
well, I'm just trying to help people.
We're in a
Is this what y'all
handbasket.
do on Mondays?
But isn't each person has to have their medicine done differently? Isn't that right?
I think that hormone
Yeah, that.
treatment is catered to. I think they test you, and then you get a certain formula
I bet
based
you
off of that
I bet
test.
you that doctor smokes. Jerry.
He's got a script, don't he?
I'm just trying to help. Here's something that you may know, Julia. Let me ask this. What is the deal with the J.D. Vance memes across America?
Okay, some of them are. I'm gonna be honest. Some of them, is this AI or is it not? And did you see the beer one?
Let me see. Here, I Googled it. I Googled this, and this is just some of these, and I'm going to show you the best one that I've seen so far. Here's what, if you just Google this.
Yeah.
Y'all look at this.
I don't know why it's happening. Some of them are
There he
funny.
is.
I don't care who you are, but I don't know why that's.
But that's kind of funny.
That's funny. Okay.
But and I had to stare at this at first, and I thought, gosh, he sure looks different. And as we go back to, let me just show you.
Oh, now that conspiracy one.
Look at this. That caught me off guard. I was sitting there looking at him going, he sure looks different. And then it hit me, it was J.D. Vance instead of him.
Yeah.
A little convoy time.
I would, if I was him, I would find humor in this.
I would love it because this is making him even more popular than what he was. And remember where he's going to be in 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could. Yeah, he could be there.
You know.
But JD, it is kind of funny for things like that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
How's the coffee?
It's okay. Odie made it.
It's not your kind, though, is it?
It's fine.
It doesn't make her pinky stand out, so it's not preferred.
It does the job.
I brought this up with, I ran into Debbie this weekend, and we were talking about how the older you get to where there's certain products that's all you will take. And she was talking about my coffee. I buy it by the case.
You're the
you
Folgers. Something.
Simply Smooth.
Simply Smooth.
And you can't find it anywhere. So when you get it, you have to order it by the case.
Yeah.
And I'm just
You might be
that.
one of the very few people getting it, so you might want to stock up.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Sort of like Greg with Little Debbie's. He's got a certain kind. He walked up to me at full moon, and he had a little something right here. I thought it was a fudge round.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, no. It wasn't, but I thought it was. I thought it was a brownie, like in his beard.
Well, and as you bring that up, let me just say, oh my heavens, the turnout that we had in downtown Meridian.
That
still
was an
tired.
awesome night.
Yeah, it was great.
Would you rank that as one of the highest attendance
I
ever?
think that we've had two more that were close. We had an 80s night that was pretty big, and then we had one on Front Street. You know, we're a block party, so we're not a gated, ticketed event, so we don't have a head count. I think we attempted some from some aerial pictures that we took, but. Yeah, when we have a great band and great weather, which all of our bands are great, but this one,
he's good,
particularly so.
Yeah.
But then we combine it with great weather, and then our first one in spring is usually big. I think everybody's just itching to get out, and so we had a fantastic turnout.
There's an aerial view of it.
Yeah,
you're talking about.
We had a great time.
The Bouncing Betties is going to bring a draw. They are a great band, and they're coming up for the 80s night.
I thought you were talking about the Moons being Bouncing Betty.
No. Greg kept calling them basketballs.
We got them tied down.
But that is just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that.
Yeah, and I would love to say that I had a whole lot to do with this, but I have a patch on my apron that says cat herding, and that's just what I do. There's a lot of incredible people that build the stuff.
Call it what you want. Y'all work together, and
we've got a great group of volunteers. Hundreds of thousands of hours every year are put in by ACES volunteers, and we represent a lot of different backgrounds, and we have a lot of different skill sets, and we've got a great group of people, and they're the ones that really make it happen. And our sponsors, Serve Pro and Magnolia Beverage and Mitchell Distributing and Magnolia Steel and Huff Disposal and the Ice Plant, all those people that that's the reason that we're able to do this
for free.
For free, and it's very important to us for it to remain free and accessible for anybody to come and enjoy downtown Meridian. So,
with that being said, coming up next, we've got a point to make out of all of this. As this has been a strange since January. We've seen a lot of things go on to where the city council voted themselves a raise during an election year. Is it political suicide? I don't know, but it seems as though the city picks these things during an election year. Next, are they trying to take away your Second Amendment right? Now, let that sink in. Your Second Amendment right, that holds dear to all of us. We're going to talk about that next. She's up next. She's here. She's wearing black for the occasion. And we're going back to that girl to let her describe this.
And we've got a lot of people want to know when you're going to get a battery.
So no clock batteries yet. No, I'll change
wait a minute.
it.
No. We took a ladder last night and put one in there because she couldn't reach it, and she got on a ladder and got up there and put it in.
For that.
And even put in a little thing in the wall to hold it better.
The battery, because it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm.
They're giving us time flies. It's already a quarter late.
I don't know what happened. We'll be right back as that girl goes deep into your Second Amendment right. All aboard for the 22nd annual Loose Caboose Arts and Crafts Festival, coming your way April the 12th in downtown Newton. Craft vendors, carnival rides, food vendors, the dinosaur experience for the kids at the Kids Zone. Zach Logan will be the headliner for the entertainment at Ray Payne Park. The Bank First Car Show returns with cars, trucks, racing vehicles, and classic cars. Plus a motorcycle show as well. It's all happening this year at the 22nd Annual Loose Caboose Festival, downtown Newton. See you there. Stadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, best Stadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954.
Are you tired of your old car being a dud? Well, come into City of Meridian, where we're giving up to $3,000 over KBB for your trade-in. We have interest rates as low as 0.9% and up to $3,000 in rebates. Come in at the City of Meridian and drive off in a new car and a new you for the new year. Come see us.
The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger. Plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome back. Our special guest, that girl Julie, has taken her Second Amendment rights so seriously that she stopped to clean her Second Amendment rights. She's cleaning it. She'll be back in just a moment, and we're going to find out what she's upset about.
She's still mad about the way you opened the show.
But seriously, we are going to have a conversation about that. How do you feel about the City of Meridian trying to take away your Second Amendment right? That is coming up in just a moment. Right now, as we near this, April 1st is going to be our first round where we have the Democratic people that are running for mayor in a runoff. One person will come out of this and then head on to the general election, which will happen, what date is that?
April...
6 weeks, 5 weeks, 3 weeks?
20, something like that. So you've got the 25th of this month. You've got a huge vote for State House of Representative, and then April 1st, 21 days away, is what we're looking at.
When is the general election?
General election is the first Tuesday in June.
Okay, we were close.
Yeah, whatever that date. I don't know if it's the second or the third. Of course, April 1st is the primary.
Now, there's four people that are running as Democrat for mayor of Meridian. You have been mayor before. You were there 8 years, am I right?
Yes, sir. 8 years, 2 terms.
We are getting, 3 weeks away from it now?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
21 days.
20-some days, yep.
All right, and you are up for it again. Tell us,
sir.
What's your platform, Percy? What is going on?
Well, the biggest thing is the experience, leadership, being visible and communicating our plans as it relates to public safety, as it relates to economic development, as it relates to just being accountable for good government to the citizens. That's really our platform. And of course, we have a lot of experience. We've been there. Some things, in the first 2 terms, we feel like we did a lot of great things for the city to create a lot of the momentum, and a lot of the work that the current administration is doing now. We put those things in place. We put a lot of those projects and deals in place with state and federal agencies, and we're very proud about that. But that we also know that there are things that we could have done better in those 2 terms, and experience, wisdom. It helps you visualize and see those things. We could have.
So you'll have some changes, is what you're telling us that you see that you're going to correct.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of great people on our teams over those 8 years, but the team will be different this year, and me being able to pick good qualified people and letting them do their job is going to be a cornerstone of what we want to do in this second go round. And again, we got a lot of things done in government in an 8-year period. A lot of people, I think, still don't understand, Scotty Ray, how difficult it is not to just go from the vision to the implementation to actually getting it voted on with council, going through the bid process, and then actually seeing those projects become a reality in a single term or in an 8-year period. And we did those things, and we're very proud about those things. But like I said, again, this time around, with experience and with other things that we knew we could have probably done a little better, we were going to do better. The biggest thing, go
you
ahead.
said something right there that caught my attention as you talk about getting things passed through the city council. Now, there's a lot of people up for election on that right now, and it is equally as important to have a city council that knows what they're doing as well.
Yeah.
And push everybody to go vote on that.
Yeah, the council is very important. The mayor and the council, of course, have got to work together. Sometimes people on the council may have their own agenda. In my administration, we had people that sometimes, wanted to go in a different direction than administration, and it is difficult to get things done when you're not all working together. But we came back, we circled back a lot of times, even though it seems like we were going back and forth to get things done. And I mean, that's what government is really about. Like I said, in my second term, of course, I had 3 people on the council also run for mayor. Those things,
So you had 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5
that were on there that wanted your job.
That wanted my job.
It's kind of like, I guess you could put it as you're getting ready to go home and you have somebody run out and let the air out of your tire before you can leave. And it causes delays. It doesn't disrupt everything, but it causes delays in getting things accomplished.
That would be correct. Love those people to death, but they had their own agendas, and one of them specifically, Weston Lindeman, who caused a lot of havoc in city government, who caused a lot of things from relationships with vendors to how we got things done to a lot of the things that disrupted the credibility and the trust of leadership at the time myself. And, as I told people back then, and I tell people now, people made a lot of false allegations. A lot of things went on where we had state investigations going on with some of our staff that was really uncalled for, and, was basically.
And they found nothing.
And found nothing. And to be honest, Scotty Ray, a lot of those people that were in those positions, they're even in higher positions right now in the police department, in community development departments, and in other departments. And it just really was a black cloud over the last couple of years. And that's one thing coming back. You're asking me the question. We wanted to close out some things. We feel like we have some unfinished business, and we're going to get those things done. And we're telling the people, I'm a baseball coach. I'm a basketball coach. I'm a man. I'm a father. And there's a lot of honor in a man like me because we don't cheat on anything. We push our kids. We push our myself to be the best, and we don't look for shortcuts. Like coming back here, this job is not easy. That's why a lot of people think it may be easy, but this job is not easy. So we're honorable in what we do, and when we say that we're going to do something to our citizens, we plan on getting those things done.
What would you say for somebody that is sitting here listening to this and they go, well, what is going to be the number one thing if you were to get reelected, what would be the number one thing that they will see different in this administration? I couldn't get it out, but basically what will be the most noticeable thing?
As I said, the most noticeable thing from day one, you're going to see a strong leader. You're going to see someone communicating to the citizens and through the people from our platforms that we have with the city, on radio and TV, and telling people what we're trying to do to provide good government for them. We're also going to hire competent, qualified people and let them do their job. And we're going to be an ambassador for the city. Those are the key main things that I think in the experience that I bring to the table. Even when you have things in front of you that are trying to work against you, you still can't provide excuses to the people. You still got to get things done. And Scotty Ray, we feel like we have done that. We went through COVID. We went through multiple storms and bad weather with your buddy over here. And I'm glad that we were able to go through those things and then still provide good government for the people, and we plan to do that again. So those are the things, and again, focusing on what's most important to people right now, hearing their needs the most is public safety, it's crime, and as I've said on multiple shows just last week, this model of having a chief above the chief, it ain't working.
No.
It didn't work. And so that's going to be one of the first things that we put in place. You know, the mayor that's in there now ran on public safety. Look how that worked for everyone. You know, look how that worked, the experience there. And basically you have two chiefs. And, you know, the biggest thing is no one is happy with the way things are being done. And I'm not talking about the current chief, because I would hate to be in a position to have an overseer or a boss over me like that every
Well,
day.
you can't make a decision.
You can't make any decisions. So at the end of the day, as I said multiple times, we're going to come in with strong leaders in those departments, and they're going to communicate their plans for the citizens, and they're going to ask the citizens what role they can play to help in solving some of these issues that we have.
Now, you know, as you sit back and we talk about having two leaders, Jimmy Smith, there's a lot of people that are going to say, well, Jimmy's a good man. Good men sometimes don't make good leaders. And Percy, let me put you in this place. Let's go back to the day when Kroom lost his life. We had a police officer fall. A few months later, we would have a dedication in front of the police department where a street was named after him. The fire trucks were called in to fly the American flag. And there's a lot of people that don't realize that the current mayor ordered the fire chief at the time not to take a City of Meridian fire truck and fly the American flag for that. And I think it boils down to basically because he was not aware of what was going on, that it wasn't his idea maybe. I can't answer that part for it. But he did, without a shadow of a doubt, tell the fire chief, you will be fired if you show up with a Meridian fire truck and fly that flag. Your thoughts? I don't even know what to say here.
So, first of all, Scotty Ray, you know, the comments that were made at the funeral at Meridian High School gym for a mayor is just unacceptable. I'm not going to repeat. Everyone knows what was said at that funeral. But, you know, our policemen and our firefighters, they risk their lives every day. And what happened was unforeseen. And it's one of those things as mayor, you are, like I said earlier, the ambassador. You are the face. You are the voice of the city, and your words carry weight. And, you know, that was very just unacceptable for a leader to be in a role of a mayor on a day like that. It doesn't matter if the city organized that event or if another person or group organized that event. To have a special dedication with the street naming right by the police department with that Mr. Kroom's family there after everything that had happened, and after what also happened at Meridian High School gym, where those comments were made, just unacceptable to me for a leader. And it goes back to what I communicated earlier about, you know, leadership and about, you know, being in a position like this. You have to, you know, you're always put on point. You always have a microphone in your mouth, and you just got to, you know, to be the point person and to say the things that are important to people at the time. And that day, sorry that it happened to the Kroom family, both at the high school gym and at the dedication of the street. And just not being there also on a special day after everything that happened, I mean, it just speaks volume to what I have communicated all along on this show this morning. And those are some of the things, as I've said earlier, that you're going to see from day one being different. You're going to have someone that you see in this seat that is an ambassador for the city. There's a salesperson and a cheerleader for the city, and then around me with people who are qualified to do the things that they need to get done in the areas in each one of those 7 other departments. So, you know, it's nothing else that I can say about that. I mean, I don't know. You could ask the current mayor, you know, what was going on when he did it, if he ever gets on this show. But the bottom line of it is, here we are, here we stand, and here we plan to be for the people of Meridian.
But that is pretty common there, to where if you ask a question, you're either ignored, you're not given an answer, or just not going to reply to it. That's the current administration. And if you love that, that's the way you need to vote. Keep it just the way it is. But if you're ready for a change, It's now time for that. April 1 is when this is going to happen. Percy, what do you say to the person who is watching now that hasn't made up their mind of who they're going to vote for? Tell us why they should vote for Percy. Why should you go check your name?
I'll start again, as I've said, experience matters. Being there and been done that and showing the people in crisis situations how you will lead. It's just like getting a quarterback or a coach. Man, listen, we had a lot of wins. We had a lot of wins for this city. We changed the culture in a lot of departments. A lot of that same culture is coming back where, from the things that we tried to do downtown, from events to creating a college atmosphere to the economic development, the push for things to happen in economic development, not just for downtown, but around the city. The infrastructure projects that we got done all across the city, those things build up momentum in a city. Those things make a city like our city stronger. And coming back, again, as I've said numerous times on this show, we want to take some of those things and go to the next level. We know and understand that we'll have the ability, because of the data center, to do more things in government that we could not do because we had to create the momentum. We had to create the economic development pieces that came into place, and we created an atmosphere for other small businesses to do well. Even when COVID happened, Scotty Ray, a lot of businesses would have gone basically bankrupt. We created an atmosphere as best we could throughout a national pandemic to allow for people to continue to do what they needed to do to put food on the table for their families. And, those things, again, we have not had any situations like my administration went through over the last 3 or 4 years to that degree. And, again, we feel like we are the best fit. We have the most experience, and we're going to surround ourselves. And we have receipts to back up what I'm communicating to you today. We have receipts to back up those things that we've gotten done when other people didn't want them to get done. We have receipts to show that there was a building downtown with just pigeons and rodents in it.
That's true.
That now is the cornerstone of this city. Those things didn't happen because we just woke up one day and snapped our fingers. Those things happened because of work, vision, and working a plan with people and partnering with people to get things done. And those are the things that we plan on doing over the next 4 years.
Well, we can't thank you enough for dropping by this morning and talking with us. Yeah. It's April 1st. It's coming before long. I urge you to get out and vote. Percy would love for you to choose him as your next mayor by checking that name there.
Scotty Ray, I haven't been here in a long time, but I always came down to your show here, and I know a lot of times I mess with you about this. A lot of your supporters say crazy things on the sidelines over here, but understand and just know that all those things, a lot of things that they hear, get to know the man, get to know the person, and not just make your assumption off of what people have said. Because as I communicated to you guys earlier, a lot of things that were put out there obviously weren't true, because I know one for sure, if Shad White had anything on anybody, he would have come here and loved to do his job in Meridian, Mississippi, and promise you citizens that they did everything that they could to review everything that they could in city government while I was mayor. And again, from myself to those people, it was nothing there. And again, first and foremost, I'm a dad and I'm a coach, and we're going to do things the right way. And we don't want to win off of trying to get over the wrong way. We want to compete hard. We want to put a good team in place, and we want to beat you straight up. So on April 1st, I'm asking your people that watch your show that live in the city of Meridian to check by that box that says Percy Bland, and let's get this momentum rolling again, and let's get it done. So thank you for inviting me, Scotty Ray, and I'll be back. I mess with you all the time about your people here that say the crazy comments, but I want them to know, to get to know the person that they're talking about, and if they did, and if they do, they'll probably get a different idea who Percy Bland is.
Well, we can't thank you enough for dropping by this morning. Got something?
So, give them a new what?
You'll fix
I'll fix Scotty Ray's battery on his timer.
It's
That's the
sort of
first
off.
proclamation as Mayor Bland. I will get a battery.
Yeah.
Let me throw this out there and ask if you would be open to this idea, because, and I'll make it real quick, because I've had this brought up to me once or twice. And Odie, you're going to have to help me remember her name. We had a police officer during the 80s that lost her life, who gave her life in the line of duty. Alma. But would you be open to having some type of formal dedication in her memory? Because, to my knowledge, there's nothing in the city that
Alma Waters.
that acknowledges that she gave her life.
Yeah, those are things that go by the city council, and I'm sure they wouldn't probably have any issue with putting that on the agenda. I'm sure that over the next 4 years there are going to be other people throughout the city that have done some things special that may be here still or may not be here that they would want to put on that. But let's try to get past this primary and general election, and we'll talk to the council about that.
See, I was already had you in there. Look at that. Good luck to you. We appreciate you coming in, Percy.
Yes, sir.
Percy Bland. We've got more coming up as that girl returns. Our pistol-packing mama is in the house. She's upset.
And lost.
We'll be right back. J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp, trail riding, or just working on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. One of the interesting things that happened last night, if you were passing through Meridian, Mississippi, going toward Newton, you were kind of blocked both ways.
Oh.
Right before the fire broke out in Meridian, we had a horrible accident in Newton at mile marker 104. Let me show you this.
Ooh.
This is a overturned 18-wheeler that just sit right in the middle of the interstate. And people sat and they sat. And then look at that line of traffic back here, Odie.
Man, and that's tough. And now you've got the contraflow. You've got to get wreckers to come in, circle around, and get on the other side and contraflow back in. It takes time when you've got a truck that has it blocked the entire road to get everybody moving again.
Well, let's get some contraflow showing you what went on in Meridian. This would be right near Sam's. Y'all look at this. This was an 18-wheeler that caught fire last night. Let me back up to here. Look at this.
Ooh, chicken truck.
Behind it, I'm stuck.
Man.
Here's another view. Let's go through. There's a fireball view of this 18-wheeler that caught fire. And again, this was loaded with chickens. This
Frozen
was
chicken.
The westbound lane going toward Alabama. And then
No. Westbound coming into Meridian.
And then we had the eastbound lane coming toward Meridian and in Newton area blocked.
Yeah.
So east and west was blocked with two different accidents.
Whew, it was tough. But that was frozen chicken. Headed to the shelves.
Not anymore.
And I tell you, that was some good chicken. I mean, not that particular one.
Look at the firemen go there.
They are cooked now. Yeah.
But Meridian Fire Department done a fantastic job of getting that controlled, and we do appreciate that.
Chicken plays today for lunch.
Yeah. So that's what was going on last night. If you wondered why there was so many traffic, and we kept getting call after call after call as to what was going on. There she is.
I'm here.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Are you missing Greg yet?
Yes.
Wow. Did you
see that pause?
That was forced.
Now,
Y'all got me up on a Monday.
Ago, and I've often said this within the administration that we have now in the city government of Meridian. Sometimes you don't get answers at all. Sometimes you have people in charge of things that maybe don't need to be in charge of it. People have been appointed to jobs where they just can't handle it. And now this is important to me, our Second Amendment right. And Julia, I'm going to turn you loose with what's in your mind about this. What are we talking about?
Well, I'm trying to navigate this the best way that I can, but groups like ACES, it's not just us that does Full Moon and Meridian Mardi Gras, and there's a lot of other events downtown. We have been presented with some updated proposed security policies, and we've been talking with the city for a little bit, and I'm going to be honest, early on I felt like we were sort of part of the conversation, and now it feels much like it's being just put on us, and this is what we're going to do. And as a City of Meridian employee told me Friday while I was setting up Full Moon with all of my volunteers downtown, that it's not up to me on what the security policy, and he is absolutely correct. And thankfully we live in a democracy where we have something called branches of government and balance of powers, and so that's really why I'm here today. I have some concerns about the new updated security policy. Some of them involve things like metal detectors, and for an event like mine, Full Moon downtown, which is an open street, which means it's not a ticketed event. We don't know who's coming or when they're coming, and you can walk down the sidewalk to get to 23rd Avenue from 22nd just as much as, whether you're coming to my event or not. And so my initial concern was cost, because we go and ask sponsors for money, and if we had security issues in the past and things like that, then we would be and we care about security and safety, and some of the policies that they're talking about, like putting a fire truck behind the moons, great, that makes sense. That prevents a car from coming down. Like, thank you, that's proactive. But to come up with some unmerited, not needed policies, stick us with the bill, and then I just have questions on the ability to do that. So I'm here today because there is a work session tomorrow with the Meridian City Council to discuss these policies, because they have to approve them. It is not just the executive branch. Mayor, if Percy Bland is mayor July 1st, he will tell you before anybody, he's not an authoritative dictator role. He's got to go, and there is a balance of powers. And so these policies I have a lot of concerns about how they will affect our abilities to do the things that we do downtown. I think they're unnecessary, and I question the legality of some of them. If you're going into a ticketed event, you've agreed to a set of policies.
Correct.
Yeah, but a downtown block party or a parade, or are you able to tell people what they can and cannot carry a gun that they're legally allowed to carry? Are you allowed to do that?
You should be able to carry that
I'm not
anywhere.
an attorney. I can read, but I've got some serious concerns. So it's twofold for us. And you've asked me to talk about this several times, and I've declined, because I do believe in working with people the best you can and coming to a good agreement. But unfortunately, I feel like groups like ours are at a little bit of a crossroads, and it's unfortunate because we're not the bad guys. We spend thousands of volunteer hours and raise tens of thousands of dollars that we put right back into supporting a creative economy in Meridian, Mississippi, and increasing the quality of life. We should be a partner, and so the tone has become very negative, and it's unfortunate. So what can you do if you like our events and you want them to stay the same way they are? I encourage you to reach out to your city council and ask them to make sure that we're part of this conversation. We're not against increased security, but they can't just dictate it to us, send us the bill, and tell us that it's not up to us, because it's up to all of us.
You can't afford. You've got to be able to afford this. Because let me tell you where this will go. This will go to where we no longer have these downtown events because people can't afford to do it. Which, if you were, what's the name of that little restaurant that was that's down there, the Island?
Island 601.
Oh my gosh, it was huge.
The businesses on Fifth Street, my impression is, somebody pipe up, they love us, and the area restaurants, Meridian Mardi Gras, Full Moon, 3 Foot Brewery is packed, Weidman's is packed, Fair on 8th was packed. I mean, it's not just what you see there. We are a part of this city, and so it's concerning the tone right now that we're at, and I don't like being here, but I think it's important, and you can work with someone for so long, and then you have to say, you know what, that's just enough is enough, and we're not doing that. So if you disagree with me, I encourage you to call the city council and tell them that they need to push it through, and if you don't, then I encourage you to call the city council and tell them they need to reconsider what these policies are. So that's where we're at. It's important to me, and so that I don't know why this is happening or why we're at this place.
Let me just be point blank. Let me just jump to it and see if you'll answer this. What department of the city does this fall under? Whose department is it? What is it?
I mean, when we meet with the city, we meet with all departments. The policies, I understand, are being presented by the Community Development Department. And
correct me if I'm wrong. They're putting this out there before it passes through the city council, more or less saying do this, and it hasn't gone through the city council.
Some of the policies and some of the easy stuff that makes a lot of sense, we're like, okay, yes, let's go ahead. But some of the policies, I think we've been encouraged to go ahead and comply with, and we've just not done so.
And I would beg to differ on a lot of this, because I would say that there's a lot of times there's no crime at events like yours, because it is people that are exercising their Second Amendment right, and the bad folks know that, and so they don't cause trouble at events like that.
We always have security at our events. Anytime you have that many people, there may be someone that needs to be taken out, but that's the extent of the issues that I'm aware of that's ever been at any of the events that I've been a part of. Not to say that you don't need to take precautions and reevaluate your security and safety measures. Just because nothing has happened doesn't mean that nothing will. But there's a balance, and it's not a dictative, you are going to do this and it is not up to you. That's not how it works here. So it's not up to me, it's up to all of us. And we're going to figure it out together.
So is there anywhere that this policy is written down where we've had somebody ask that they can read it, or are they just
That's
simply
very
gonna
interesting.
Have to go on there and pay attention to the work session?
Well, they don't do the work sessions live anymore. Interesting. That I'm aware of. So I think you would actually have to attend the work session. Their council emails are public and on City of Meridian website. As far as the proposed policy, I've been given a draft of it. I've requested the final version that's being presented to the council, and I've not received that. I've been told that there's changes to the revised policy, or changes to the proposed policy that I've got in my hand, but I don't know what that is right now. So one of my major issues with the policies is that they are very vague, and they leave a lot of discretion to City of Meridian employees that can change, and we're just left paying for it. It's not
vague is usually not good.
It's not good for it can be in the moment, and there are people that make those decisions right now in those security policies that would be great long term, and we have a great working relationship with them, and I trust them that they're not going to mess us up. But that person can change, and then I'm stuck. And so I think it's important to evaluate these policies thoroughly on the front end. It will change the way events are done, and those sponsors that pay for these events downtown, it will absolutely change the financial makeup and what these events are. And so they need to be heavily looked at and make sure that they're legal and they don't impose
Tomorrow's the work session. When would be the vote for this?
That would be that'd be up to the council from there on whether or not they proceeded with putting it on an agenda, and then they would choose what agenda that was.
But I guess my question would be, when was the next meeting?
Next council meeting, we're first and third Tuesday, so it'd be the 18th. So it'd be next Tuesday, and that would be a 5 o'clock meeting, the second Tuesday.
Interesting. There's a lot going on in Meridian as we head toward this election. A lot to decide. Things like this that go on behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people realize that this can happen. You know, you're busy with your job, you go to work, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And you wake up one day and you don't have the right to walk down the street with what the U.S. of A. government guaranteed you as a right.
Yep.
Kind of against that. We'll be back with more coming. That girl's in the house.
I'm here.
Do not
On
make
a
this woman
Monday.
mad.
Joe Norwood is asking for your vote, District 82, House of Representative, March 25th. Norwood has been District 4 Supervisor since 2000, served on numerous boards in the area, was instrumental with the weather radar in Marion, and helped bringing the data center to Meridian. He is a member of numerous associations, both national and state. He asks again for your vote March 25th for House of Representative District 82. Paid for by Committee to Elect Joe Norwood.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low-mileage cars and trucks. How about a Z71 2500 HD? Or maybe you're looking for the Ford F-150 with lots of leg room in it. Plenty of SUVs like the Explorer for the family. Or if you're looking for a gas saver to go back and forth to work, come by and see the mini cars like this Nissan.
The low-profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, and of course we've got Julia, that girl in the office. My wife told me over the weekend that she totally agreed with something that you said Friday.
Oh, gosh.
She said that you'd made the comment about me having the jitters Friday morning when we found out there had been a shooting and I couldn't leave the studio.
I mean, I'd never watched it, and he just was nervous.
It's awful not
he
to be
was
able
just
to get
like
up.
this, like, I got to go.
Did y'all take separate vehicles to the full moon on the 5th?
Everywhere we go. Because you never know. Like, in the middle of dinner, I'll be gone. Bring it home. I'll eat it later. This is what we had Friday morning. Let me show you this. This is the scene of a murder that happened in downtown Meridian. This would be 25th Avenue is where this happened. Now, this is one of those, it had 4 people in the home. 3 people were there. The 4th person was the murderer. Each person that was in the house was able to identify who it was that walked into the home. So the Meridian Police Department knew who they were after. Immediately, they started scouring the area there. We've got fire there, we've got the police, we've got investigators, and this is just a little glimpse of that. Soon after, later on in the day, we would finally get an email showing this fella here of who they were looking for. His name was Corey Collins. He was the murder suspect in this, and they were looking for him. And what is interesting, it was about, I want to say 4:30. I was on North Hill Street, and I got a text message that said, I see police moving into the area where the murder took place this morning. So I commenced to taking off. And sure enough, everybody was driving 15. They were going somewhere slow, but I was trying to get there. As I arrived in the nick of time, and this is what we look like. And I talked to folks, as they said he took off running, as we'll see here. Down here, I will zoom in on this and I'll pause it. The patrol car that is at the end of this street, it's coming around, it's almost showing here. Right down here, as you'll see, they're leaning him up against the car. And we're going to zoom in here in just a second. This is the moment that the suspect was taken into custody for the murder of that man. I know I zoom. There we go. There it is. He's up against the car there, and they're taking him into custody. Residents said that he ran like the wind at first. He just wasn't quick enough to outrun that many police, and they closed in, and he was taken into custody. Thank heavens there. It's not a threat to the community. At any time, and let me remind you of this, when things like this happen, until that person is taken into custody, it is a threat to the community. I don't want anybody ever, it was an isolated, You got somebody that hurt someone that could hurt you because they don't want to go to jail. This was...
When they know, the police know who they are, they're going to do what they can to stay away from them.
Interesting is he didn't go far at all the entire day. He was within probably a block all day long. Now, I don't know whether he went and got a sandwich somewhere or not, but at the end of the day, he was still there. And thank heavens he was taken into custody. Number 3, our third murder of the year. We've had about 11 people shot so far this year, with 3 murdered. That's our number so far into this year. We'll keep track of this as we move along. Soon after last night, after that wreck, this is the problem. I don't. Maybe problem isn't the word, Odie, but you've got the Meridian Fire Department out on I-20, and then comes that call of, hey, we've got another serious fire. And let me just go here. I want to back this up and show you what the Meridian Fire Department arrived to. Now, this would be on Martin Luther King Drive, the 1900 block. Here we go. Look at this fire. Let's hit play. That is in full-fledged fire right there. And I want to show you the whole thing here. This is as we get a little bit closer. And then right there, boy, that was a big fire there as we look at that from last night.
Well, I tell you, they've got fire departments strategically placed. And just like you said, the other day it happened, this one happened, you've got fire departments out on one emergency, and another one comes in that area. There's fire departments that are ready to get on that, and they all know, they all understand that, say one is out on a call, everybody else is listening. They see an address, and 3 and 5 or whoever is going to turn around and say, we're going to take that call and cover their area. Meridian Fire Department is a fine machine that just runs smooth. They know what each one of them's got to do, and I tell you, it's an honor to be able to work with them sometimes. A great group of guys, great chief, but they are definitely dedicated, and they're always training.
Absolutely there. Julie, are you going to keep us up to date on all of this, what's going on with this as to where we are and what and do things like this? Your professional opinion, does this weigh in on elections? When people hear this before they go vote, does this affect the way somebody votes?
I don't know. I mean...
It does me.
Yeah. I just... it shouldn't be like this. You know, we're not the bad guys here, and I wish that I wasn't sitting here right now, that I didn't feel like I had to. But government is supposed to be for the people, by the people. You know, that's what
exactly.
It is not yours. It doesn't. The city hall does not belong to you. The fire truck does not belong to you. The street does not belong to you. It is all of ours.
It's the taxpayer.
And that's how I operated when I worked in city government, and it's difficult that I don't feel like we're getting that tone right now, and I don't know whose fault that is, but I'm just focusing on what this issue is. I will give a report. I won't be here Friday, but I'll let you know how we're doing, how Tuesday goes.
Greg's already heartbroken.
And then he's heartbroken. Y'all get him a replacement date. Find him somebody else.
Coming up, we've got more as the name Shad White was mentioned a moment ago. We got something that Shad White released this weekend. We're going to talk about that in just a moment here at the Scotty Ray Report. Let's face it, accidents are going to happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see my friends and professionals at Chet's Paint and Body Shop in Center Hill. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop.
Looking for a deal you can't pass up? Right now, drive off in a quality used car for just $299 down and only $299 a month here at Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Meridian. That's right, good reliable cars packed with features at a price you'll love. $299 down, $299 a month. Look, I'm not kidding. This is a real offer that our customers have taken advantage of for years now. Come see us today, Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Meridian.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. As we mentioned, Shad White been busy. I know that he's had many shares. We posted this to our page. If you have not read this, please do. This goes through what Shad White has found in wasted tax dollars of the Mississippians. And of course, this kind of falls back on Doge.
Yeah. He posted this probably, 6-8 months ago. He posted this. Pushing this out of what was found in the state. Some things. There's some yoga on there that kind of threw me for a loop.
Now I found this. He posted this on Saturday. Is when I found it. Has he done something else?
Yeah, he's done it. He just put another topic on there, but it's the same thing he posted 6-8 months ago.
Welfare money going to beauty pageants, speeding tickets for the rich, community gardens that were never built. What TV costs $5,800 that a government agency needs?
Well, now, there's called smart TV, not the regular smart TV, but there's TVs that integrate with a computer, and if you've got a big training room to go in and use this TV as interactive for training, they cost that much. Now, how many do you got to buy and how many of them's out there? I don't know, but there are training aids that
what I wanted to show was Julia's face while you were saying that.
Yeah, well,
I can guarantee you there wouldn't be any $5,800 bought in Julia's administration, would it?
So you go buy a $3,000 TV and a $4,000 computer to operate it, and then you've got two systems that you've got to link together.
Always the devil's advocate here.
$5,800, you're buying one that does everything. I'm just saying, am I going to buy one? No, you're not going to see one of those at Lima, I promise you. But they're out there, and there's good reasons for them.
Sometimes, and there is waste and things that you can't find or that you can't keep up with. Government makes purchasing items more expensive for government because of purchasing and procurement laws, and it ain't as easy as just going and buying something sometimes that would make a lot of sense to you and I. So there's the factor there. But
Shad White found some fault in this.
Yeah, there's some I'm certain that some of it is just part of it's laziness, not taking care of stuff. It's the intentional stuff that.
Tell me this: do you remember the lady? And I cannot remember her name to save my life right now. But it was a lady that was an elected official that was buying TVs and giving them to friends. And Shad White called her.
That was wasn't that the election commission in Hinds County maybe? And they bought a bunch of stuff with COVID-19 like ARPA money that they couldn't, and they had it all at their house. That's the stuff that you really want to. That's what really makes you mad.
Here's an interesting one on here, and why Shad just didn't go ahead and put the name out, because everybody in Jackson most likely, I don't, because I'm not over there enough, but he lists politicians taking the state plane to out-of-state baseball games. Now, there's flight logs that are easily accessible to find out who this was. Why didn't he just go ahead and say John Doe took it and he should pay this back to the state of Mississippi? Your thoughts there, Julia?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he runs his page like Scotty Ray does. He needs the ratings, like the teaser. Come back for more. I'm not sure.
She's just hecking.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm cranky on a Monday morning. You got me out of bed early.
But I'd like to know who it is. We're bound to know
I'm certain that it'll come out.
Okay.
I feel good.
And the list goes on and on here. I want y'all to look at it. We're seeing, and y'all, if you remember the president talking the other day, there was really people spent $8 million to have mice transgender surgery. $8 million. Now, I don't care. You're watching me right now. You say, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. It don't matter. That's $8 million of your money that was wasted on something useless.
$1 million on social justice yoga for preschoolers.
Yoga.
Huh? What?
But in all fairness across, and this should have been checked long before now, with any business, and I've worked in businesses to where they start checking things and things were just left for 20 years. Well, nobody checked it. And that's where the United States government is at this point. It's just been sending a check. Well, how many people did we have that were 300 years old getting a check?
Yeah.
Come on.
And government's big, and like City of Meridian's largest employer, besides maybe a hospital or two in the City of Meridian, it's a large company if you look at it that way. And so audits need to be done. You need to look at your vehicles. You need who's driving them, and you need to look at your cell phone usage. Who's using them, and that's just something that should just be processed. It's not always, but some of this is unintentional. I'm certain. Some of it's intentional,
right?
And but it needs that's the whole point, like we were talking about earlier. You know, that balance of power and accountability.
I remember I was in West Texas on a job, and it wasn't my job. I just showed up to lend a helping hand. 9 months later, I get a phone call. Why didn't you have the porta-john picked up? Well, that wasn't my job. You're in charge of it. So a porta-john had been sitting on the side of the road that somebody had been paying rent on for 9 months. I had nothing to do with it. And no one checked it.
Stuff like that happens.
It does. Accidents will happen there. I thought you done it. Well, no, that's not what I do. That's yours there, buddy. But things like that can happen in any form of government. And if you own a business, I urge you to start looking at your books. Where's your profit? Look at that every now and then. Accidents happen. Sometimes you're paying double insurance on something, didn't know it, or you're paying for two different softwares that do the same thing. You're not using one of them.
Yeah.
Just ways to save money there.
Yeah.
This woman right here, if she was in charge of your budget, would find it within an hour.
That is not.
This
that
woman
is not
is
accurate.
tough.
I'm not tough.
Tyler, y'all don't know the tough life that poor boy goes through there. His grocery bill is scrutinized when he goes and buys
That is
something on his
not
own.
true.
Oh,
That
we
is
know,
not
we
true.
know.
That is.
We'll be right back.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt, whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and that's Julia. I don't have hair that long. Matter of fact, I don't have any. We had to be truthful about it. I was out and about on Highway 39 this weekend, and y'all ran up on this. Look at this. Here we go. This was a little fender bender that took place here as we look at this. Mississippi Highway Patrol arrived on scene. Well, they would in a minute. We have the Sheriff's Department on scene, and they're with me there. A car was struck, and it knocked it on the other side of the road there.
Oh.
And no serious injuries, but we did have someone checked out. But those things happen there at those little intersections. That happened this weekend. That was Saturday afternoon, if I remember correctly. Early Saturday morning, it was foggy downtown. Let me tell you. How foggy was it, you may ask? Well, let's just show you here. This is 39th Avenue by Calvary Church. Look at this. Car hit over here. Metro arriving on scene, or actually they're leaving the scene. And we had 2 other cars involved in it. That fog was thick, which can cause an accident so quickly there.
Well, they almost hit the fish market, too, if it was still there.
If it was still there.
Yeah, it's actually sitting inside the fish market.
Yeah.
Wayne Roberts asked about our porta-johns at Full Moon. I am duly noted. Like, we did not have enough. I feel like we normally, I'm not the one that orders them, but I feel like we normally have more than that. But I went through a couple of times and apologized. The line was longer than it should have been. We were wrong. You're right. And we will do better next time. That's all I got.
And you did have an extra larger crowd.
Yeah.
And,
But that's
so you're taking an issue and you're going to grow on that. And extend it. So that's the way things work out.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
That's it.
I don't know if everybody saw this, but I think this is well worth mentioning as we lose a business from downtown Meridian. And let me pull this up. This is Mia. They made the announcement last night that they are going to be closing the beloved cafe. I know you've eaten there a lot.
I love Mia's.
Yeah, I do too.
And,
that was a cool spot. I would work remotely from there sometimes. I
I've passed by and saw you through the window before.
Oh, have you? You didn't stop and say hello?
There's that girl in there.
Yeah, there's me. There I am.
But it's a great place, and I've never heard anything bad about it. Everybody,
food was great.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. That's a business that's going to be closing in the area there. Can't say enough about Southeast and Russell. Let me tell you, they were all over this as I showed up here. This is a forest or a brush fire that was on Sand Flat Road past the training facility. And all the volunteer firemen were out with this. It was on both sides of the road. And what they're doing now is you see them backing up. They're going to move to another road where the fire has jumped. They had forestry out there as well. Great job by all of them. I can't commend them enough for doing the job that they did. Now, also, Meridian Fire Department, they had to run out to near Southern Pipe. And look at this. This was a pretty big one here. Now, as I got there, they're getting control of it. But when I was on the phone and I couldn't get out. But all of this area right here where that truck is blocking our view now, it was smoke everywhere. They had blocked off right there the exit ramp to go to Marion. And it was a lot of smoke you could barely see.
You should just start riding with the fire department, being more fit. Well, you'd be late, I guess.
They tend to drive off without you.
Well, when he gets notified before 911.
Them boys are fast. I just want to point that out. Clarkdale, the same thing. Look here. I was driving down the road Friday, and I thought, hey, I know those guys. What are they doing with those hoses? And Rob was out, as you'll see. Look at this. They're hustling here to try to put this out.
Yeah.
And it just goes on and on of how
We've got great fire departments across the county.
We do.
We are lucky.
And that's another one of those things. Hey, if you ever wanted to help, that's some folks that need help there. But they drop what they're doing and run to go help other people. And we can't thank them
We were
enough.
setting up for full moon, and somebody that didn't know Chief Michael Ted, and he'd been standing around. He's great at events, and we love having him there.
He just kind of blends in.
Yeah, and he'll do anything in the world for you. I love it.
Yeah.
But he was standing there with us, and then all of a sudden these sirens come by, and it's Chief going down 22nd Avenue, and one of our volunteers goes, that man was like just standing here like 45 seconds ago. He's like, he had to like run. And I was like, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we caught somebody that needed to go back to jail. I don't know if everybody's aware of this. The escaped inmate is back in custody. He just looks like one of those that was on that plane from Con Air, don't he? Just like wicked. He's back behind bars, and we hope he'll stay there for quite some time. Parchment is where that. Hey, we got to send Julie. You know this of girls of when they participate in programs. We cannot.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
West Lauderdale County's Distinguished Young Woman of the Year. Congratulations to her, Chloe Evans. And then we've got the list of everybody else.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is it's a difficult program, and you got to be smart and well-rounded to even participate in it. So I know they've all worked really hard.
Now, I want to brag on somebody else.
Yes.
Let me pull this picture up. This is special, y'all. We want to say congratulations here. J.C. Collins of the Zero community was named this year's Mississippi State Games Female Athlete of the Year.
She is out of town today, but her dad, I talked to her dad, Joe, good guy, retired Meridian Fire Department. Talked to him yesterday, and they're going to go back and watch And I told him, I said, we'll get this up there because this is absolutely amazing. She wins gold medals every year in swimming. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2. She takes home 7 or 8 gold medals every year swimming. JC, congratulations. Keep pushing forward.
Yes.
Joe and Judy, I know, are so proud of you, and everybody around here is as well. Congratulations, well deserved.
Just the girl wins medals everywhere she goes.
Man, yeah.
We can't thank her enough. That's very, very special there. Hey, we wanted to say this guy graduated from basic. Look at there.
That's fun.
Leader sports here at Camp Shelby. We can't thank him enough for what he's doing. Justin Kennedy, for our country. We always like to recognize those that do so much for our country. Thank you so much for your service. Appreciate that. And I was, and Julia knows, you've been with me on 1 or 2 of these before, these outings where we go see kids. And I was from one end of the place to the other.
Did they give you a hard book?
Let's see. We were our first stop as we went. Take a look here. This was Northeast Elementary is where we went first. Oh, this is Quitman Lower Elementary School, right here. Remember those faces. Can't thank them enough. I've got another school. Here we go. As we go to Northeast.
Is it Read Across America Week?
It was last week.
Okay, last week.
Dr. Seuss.
Okay, that's when you do this every year. I was like, why do they all of them want you to come read Dr. Seuss or whatever at the same time?
But it was so much fun with the kids, and I can't thank enough for them. But you were with me at Southeast last year?
Yes, I went to Southeast, and man, those kids were pumped that Scotty Ray was there.
It was fun.
Yeah. It was a phenomenon that I never expected.
And y'all think y'all didn't know where Greg was. He's on his way.
Greg's
This little piggy went to town. He's been spotted.
It looks just like him.
He's been spotted on Pine Springs all around the country store for the last couple of days. And if you're missing your piggy, that's where he is.
Greg, go home. Oh gosh,
that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Oh man.
Let's see here. We had some beautiful rainbows over the weekend too. Look at that.
Yeah.
God's little answer to say it's all going to be all right. And we do appreciate him doing that for us because Lord knows we all need it, don't we?
Ooh. Oh, man.
Again, let me remind you of this. We have severe weather that's going to be showing up about Friday of this coming week. You don't have any events planned, do you, Julie?
I do not. I actually won't be here, so.
But Friday and Saturday. Really? That's right. You've skipped out on us, haven't you?
She's taking more PTO off.
I think this might be my first PTO of the year, maybe.
It seemed like you dumped us for something else once before this year.
Yeah.
Here's what we got, and this is rolling in. On your left of the screen there is going to be Friday with that number 2 there. And then Saturday is the number 3. Now, we'll get more definitive times as this reaches, but tornadic activity is very possible during these times. Again, we are this started coming out 7 days in advance. We're 5 days away from the event, Odie, and we're already at a level 3, which means tornadic is possible.
It's possible. Yeah. Can't rule that out. And look, and I know we say that, and then we don't have a tornado in our area. We do not need you to look at this and say, look, they're crying wolf. You have got to remain vigilant this whole time, find out what's going on, because you don't know where these are going to actually develop. But the chances of developing in this whole entire area is very good. And you've got to be prepared, you've got to be ready, and you've got to be on your toes about this weather that's coming through.
Now, this guy, I trust, and I pulled this up here, and Julie, you pay attention to this. Reed Timmer, I think we all know him. He drives around chasing tornadoes all over the place. He puts out every year what he thinks is going to happen. I want y'all to look at this. Look at Mississippi.
Oh, my gosh.
He is projecting that Mississippi will have 80 tornadoes this year, 85 in Alabama, making Dixie Alley a little bit strong. Look at this.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the geographic footprint, and Tornado Alley doesn't seem as...
We're number 3. You got Texas, Alabama, and Mississippi for the most this year.
Yeah.
So our tornadoes, when they hit the ground, they go. They're going 50 miles an hour sometimes, maybe a little slower, but they hit the ground, they go. Oklahoma, when they get a tornado, it's huge. It's 1.5 miles, 2 miles wide. it sits there. It moves at 1 mile an hour. And as it causes tremendous destruction. So they get a harder impact than we do. We have a lot more tornadoes and a lot bigger area, but they do pass by quicker. Damage is still the same. It's just not as wide of a footprint as what you would see over in Oklahoma in that particular area that we do here. Ours typically hit at night. Theirs doesn't. Now that goes both ways. You can have them during the day too, but overall, it's always stay vigilant during that time and know what's going on.
Julia, you may not be the only one that has been having a little issue with the City of Meridian. I posted this, and we're going to have a guest come in. I'm sure you have a lot of realtor friends.
I do.
That sell homes.
Yeah.
Are you aware that there's a new ordinance where if you rent your home that you're going to have to pay a fee now, and they can come inspect your rental property at any given time without written notice? Just boom, there it is. There's a letter been sent by the Board of Realtors to the mayor to veto this as it reaches his desk. Y'all read all about this. Very, very important to read this. It's 2 pages long. I posted this weekend. On Friday is when I got this up. Read this. You need to be aware of this. Do you own rental property? Not aware of this? Read this. Reach out to Jimmy Smith. He is the current mayor. He has the power to veto it. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But if you don't say anything, it will happen.
I don't know this, and I don't know if you do, but when the council passed that, do you know what the vote was? Was it 3-2? Was it 5-0?
I do not. I do not.
Because if it was a 5-0 vote and Jimmy vetoes it, they're going to come right back and override that veto. If it was 3-2, you may have a chance.
And I don't know. I would.
Well, and people can change their votes.
And people can change their votes.
It is election year. You know.
That's coming up pretty quick, too. 21 days away.
Oh, heck, let's go ahead and get a raise. One for everybody.
Yeah. And I don't know a lot about this subject. I know some surface information, but just a consideration. Like with our security issues and nonprofit event coordinators and stuff downtown, there's good intentions with these policies.
Oh, yeah.
And that there's some people in Meridian, Mississippi that own rental property and they don't take care of it.
Right, I agree with
and
that.
And the people that rent them, so that's, I would think that would be the intention of why the city started down this road, is that there were issues. You don't just, I wouldn't just choose a project for no reason to go do this, but it is the government is supposed to listen to what the people want and work together, and it's not easy or efficient all the time, but it's right. And so I'm not always right, and people may disagree with my opinion on security measures downtown, and people may disagree that they should be able to inspect properties, but it is important to know what's going on and reach out to those people that you've elected and tell them how you feel about it, because they represent you, not them.
You're absolutely right. I agree with that 100%. We'll be right back.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. As the seasons... Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie and Julia. That girl is in without
She stuck around.
her
Without
married
my-
TV husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw his real wife Friday night. Bless her heart.
Do you think she's got it tough?
Yeah, I know she does.
Bless it.
Oh man,
she'd be lost in life without that man. I hear that's just rumor I'm hearing. Do you see that look on Julia's face over there?
I mean, I think the only thing she'd lose is about 300 pounds.
Oh, a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
And it'll be a week before he can defend his honor against you.
All right, we've had some people saying congratulations to a Cookie Woo. I'm sorry.
It's a band?
I don't really know who a Cookie Woo is.
Cookie Woo is a band. It's a local band.
Okay, and they've done something with American Idol.
I did not know that, but
they got her. She got her. So I take this is a single person, Lily Roden.
She plays. Okay, yeah, she's the lead singer of Cookie Woo. She's played at at an ACES event before.
Okay, so she got her ticket to Hollywood. We'll have to go back and look at that.
That's awesome.
Well, I guess.
Well, congratulations, Cookie Woo.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
you're going to remain open-minded just because the name seemed strange to you.
No. There's someone else from Meridian that I can't talk about that is also associated with American Idol, where you know how sometimes I just stumble up on things? Well, I just accidentally stumbled up on something, and they said, you cannot talk about this.
So we think we have two?
There's something
that are
going
progressing?
On. Yeah, because they had like American Idol written all over them.
Mississippi
and I saw a gold card.
Something in the water.
Yeah, there's something in the water in Mississippi, and we are better at the arts, and I believe that Meridian's the epicenter of that. So that fits.
That, yeah,
I mean it's pretty big and real nice, and I'll say person, so I won't give something away.
Oh, look at you.
Boy, I'm being all discreet.
Being politically correct.
Being discreet. This is so unlike you.
That was tough. So I guess I got to sit on this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to wait for that episode to air.
Unless you look through my phone.
No. Not this time.
I got all kinds of pictures in there.
Oh, really?
They said, you can't do that. I said,
watch this.
Watch this. Hey, we got any birthdays, Odie?
Ooh, we got some birthdays. We have Jason Davis celebrated one Saturday along with John David Shoemaker. Sunday we had Brad Scrimshire. From Clark County over there. Happy birthday yesterday to him. Gary Riddle turned 78 today, a good old buddy of mine. Andrew Bateman, 44 today. Wade Smith, he wouldn't have his age put down. We don't know how old Wade is. But then, you ready for this one?
Put it on me.
All right. Jack and Becky Brown. I know you know you're talking about.
Oh,
Becky
I do.
Comes on here all the time. And she has either put up with Jack or Jack's put up with her for 46 years today.
That long? 46 of them?
That's a long time.
Blessed. And speaking of her, she's doing this for his anniversary.
Going to work.
She's got to buy Jack a present. It's coming up before y'all know it, March the 29th. Join us for the Spring Extravaganza Gift Show. It's going to be happening. I hope you'll come down. It's going to be at the former Joann's location at Bonita Lakes Mall, or if you want to call it Uptown Mall. We'll be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you'll come down and visitate with us. How about that? Julia, what have we left off? Anything that you need to pass along to Greg before you head off to this?
I'm going to write him a love note.
Oh, are you?
For him.
Oh,
it'll be sitting here Friday whenever he gets here without me.
Let's see, Punk coming in. Maddie Acton's got a birthday, and Stacy Lee Francis. Yeah, Chad's daughter, I guess. Yeah.
Speaking of, we'll have Chad coming in on Thursday.
He is. That'll be good. You've got somebody else coming this week.
Are you coming in Thursday since you'll be off Friday?
I'm conveniently, the work session tomorrow is planned when I will be on an airplane.
Elliot,
I know that wasn't intentional, but all the same.
I wonder.
No, it wasn't. But it just is what it is. But I encourage people to watch what your local governments are doing. Elected officials aren't all bad people, but just talk to them. You don't have to be mad at them. A lot of times they want to hear what you have to say. And on this particular issue, I'm fighting for events downtown and for us to be able to keep doing what we're doing. And I'd appreciate your support and help. If I'd like to keep Full Moon free and open the way that it is, and I don't know how we function with the way that it looks right now. So I need your support.
Well, if people don't tell your representative how you feel on a subject, then maybe they're going with, well, hey, the way I'm looking at voting is the way everybody wants me to. So if you
That's
you
the way
have
it works.
an opposition or something, or you support something, let your representative know so they'll know that they're going with the way you want them to.
As we will have Elliot Brewer coming in on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that was
Tomorrow,
fun.
a special guest. He's here. He's bringing a gospel gun up. He's going to chunk up on us. Reverend Mike Bowles is going to stop by for tomorrow. We always have fun when Mike visits with us.
I feel like y'all probably behave a little bit better.
No, he actually he gives a little prayer for us there, and he goes, "I know you boys need help."
Yeah, and he's correct.
We let him finish the show out instead of me doing a little verse.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
We look forward to that show. It really is always a lot of fun with
Who's
him.
my replacement Friday?
Well, I got to work on that.
Okay.
You know how hard it is to replace you?
You are unreplaceable.
It's irreplaceable, but we're close.
Mine sounded better.
And his mama was an English teacher. You know, we can't forget.
Everybody knew what I was talking. Didn't even know I made a mistake until you pointed that out.
All right.
She just goes through wreaking havoc on men. Y'all know this stuff?
Well, Amy does too every time I say both of them.
Both of them. No, that's a word.
You don't understand? That's
Both of them is a
both
word.
of 'em. Yeah.
So is Chester drawers. Walmarts is a word across town.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is just it's
Dollar
funny.
General?
Down to Gentral. Yeah, it's amazing how sometimes slang words become almost common knowledge, and then you forget what the real word is.
Oh, Gloria Smith's got a birthday today.
All right. Thank you so much, Julia.
Thank you for allowing me to come in on this Monday.
All right, Odie, as we depart, have you got a Bible verse for us?
Yeah,
today?
let's see. We hit the button, and the Lord has given us John 1:29 today, where it says, "The next day John saw Jesus coming towards him and said, 'Look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world.'" And that's one thing he did, is he died on the cross for us so that we can have him forgive us of our sins and our wrongdoing. Easter's coming. Look behind us. We've got signs of Easter in the air. The Lord and Savior died for us and rose again that we may have everlasting life. And all we've got to do is have him be a part of our heart, a part of our life, and we give him the glory that he so deserves. Start your day with him. Y'all have a wonderful day. Tuesday's coming. Friday's on the way. But until then, remember, there's one thing for sure, and that's our love for you. Have a wonderful day.
Say bye.
Goodbye.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.